Welcome to Pilates to support menopause. It's really important to keep your body moving and keep exercising through both peri and post-menopause, not only just for general health, but also for better sleep, reduce stress and anxiety, and also to support your bone health. Today's menopause class is going to focus on strength. So in particular for our bone health, we want to make sure that we're staying strong as much as we can. So I want you to come and stand lengthways on your mat. And we're just going to start with our feet underneath our hips. Arms down by the sides, relax your shoulders. I want you to start by lifting your arms up over your head. I'm going to stand a bit further back. And then bringing them back down by your sides. So lifting arms up and back down. Now what might happen as you lift the arms over the head is that you push your ribs out and you arch your lower back. I want you to try and keep the ribs inside the body, and that movement just comes from the arms. So you might want to just do a little bit of a check what your ribs are doing as you lift and lower through the arms. So starting to just bring in a little bit of shoulder mobility before we start to increase the intensity. And we're sticking with our Pilates breath, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good. Final 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. So from this position, I'm going to move back into the center of my mat. We're going to bring our hands to a prayer position. Draw the shoulders back. So we don't want them rounding forward. Shoulders down, shoulders back. Tall through the spine. Feet are still underneath the hips. And we're going to come into some hip hinges. So draw the belly in, nice and strong through the core. Shoulders stay back. We're going to breathe in at the top. As we breathe out, you're going to hinge forwards from the hip. Bringing your chest parallel to the floor if you can, then pressing down through your feet to bring yourself back up to standing. So we breathe in at the top, breathe out to hip hinge. Lovely. So we're going to keep doing this. If you need to, as you come forward, take a little knee bend. Particularly if your hamstrings, so the backs of your legs, are quite tight, you're going to feel like you need that in order to bring your chest parallel to the floor. We want to keep the spine nice and long, reaching out through the crown of the head so the upper body moves together as one. What we don't want to happen as we come forwards is that we let the shoulders drop and come into a rounded position. So at the top, draw the shoulders back and keep them in that position. It's going to warm up the posterior chain, so all the muscles in the back of the body. We want to make sure that we're warmed up nicely, especially if you suffer with joint aches and pains as part of your menopause symptoms. Lifting through the belly every time we come forwards. We've got 3 to go. Maybe feeling that into the backs of the legs now. Last one. Good. At the top, we are going to change this up a little bit. So we're going to work on some single leg work. I'm going to move a little bit further forward. Bend your knees. And I want you to shift your weight over onto your left leg. Now you can keep your hands at prayer or on your hips or wherever you need them. That's going to help you stay balanced. We're going to stay low in the knees. Then your right leg, you're going to tap back and then tap in. So we tap back, tap in, back and in. So left leg has a knee bend, so that we can start to work into these muscles in our bum, in our leg. And the right leg is tapping back and tapping in. Now as you tap back in, there's not really any weight going through this leg. It's a toe tap. Stay on the toe. This left leg, you might start to feel a little bit of a burn. And that's okay. That's what we're going for. Building strength in the leg. Tap back and in. Belly draws in. It's going to prevent any ache in your lower back. Just help you feel a little bit more supported through this move. So you might really be feeling this now. Tap back and in. You got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step in. Ooh, come up to standing for a moment. Give your left leg a little bit of a wiggle if you need to. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Bring that knee bend back in. That's our starting point. We shift our weight over onto our right leg. Hands to prayer or wherever you feel comfortable. Maybe hands on hips. Left leg, we tap back and in. Back and in. So all the weight is on your right leg now. Left leg is doing the moving. Right leg building the strength. Try not to round the shoulders too far forward. Keep them back. Core is nice and strong. And balance is a really important thing in menopause as well. So you might find that you start to lose your sense of balance. Some days might be worse than others. And that's absolutely fine. But we want to work on that as well. Good. So you might start to feel this into that glute, into the leg. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come off of those legs. Give them a wiggle. And we're going to come to the end of our mat. Still wiggling the legs if you need to. And just take your feet just about as wide as your mat. Gently turn your feet out. We're going to build a bit more into the legs with some squats. So hands out in front of you, just to help with your balance. Belly draws in, so think about engaging those core muscles. We're going to breathe in at the top. Breathing in as we go down into our squat. Breathing out, come up. So we breathe in on the way down, breathe out on the way up. Now you're sitting your hips back and down. Back stays nice and straight and the chest stays lifted. So what we want to avoid is this, bringing your chest down towards our legs. Imagine you're trying to sit back into a chair. And you're keeping your eye gaze out in front of you. If you find that you're looking at the floor, you might be tipping forwards. Core is strong. Again, just taking away the ache out of that lower back. And we're not here for long. You've got 4, 3, pushing those knees out. Last one. Good. Release through the legs. Feet under hips. We're going to roll down. Relax the shoulders. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, tuck the chin. Let's roll it down. Ooh, I'm out of breath. Good. Lifting the belly. Stretching into that lower back, upper back. Back to the legs. Walk the hands forward. Come out into your 4-point kneeling. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. So that's going to create a nice stable base for us. Belly lifts still, core is engaged. And we're going to think about our right leg. Keeping your knee bent, you're going to lift that knee up and then tap it back down. So we lift, tap, lift, tap. Now you might feel that a little bit in your glute straight away. because we've just activated them with some of the other leg work we've been doing. But we want to try and stay nice and centered. So not leaning all the way over to the left. Try and keep the weight even between hands. Squeeze that glute as you lift the leg. We're not here for long. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that knee back in. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So recenter if you need to. Left knee, lift and tap. Lift and tap. Good. Find the stability, find the center. So you're not leaning all the way over to the right. Glute squeeze as you lift that knee up. Looking good. You're nearly there. You got 5. 4, tap the knee. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Come off of the wrists. Just move them around a little bit. Give them a little bit of a release. And then we're going to come up and over and lie on our back. A little bit of abdominal work. So come and lie flat. Lovely. All right, so arms down by the sides, feet on the floor, knees are bent. Now, from here, I want you to lift your arms just off of the floor. Fingertips reaching towards the toes. You're going to tuck in your chin and then lift up into a crunch position. We're going to come into Pilates 100s. We're going to start pumping the arms up and down, up and down. Keep the chin tucked in to keep your head off of the floor. This is option 1. Feet on the floor, knees bent. Option 2, come and bring your knees up into a tabletop position. Bring the knees and the feet together. Draw down through the belly. Arms are nice and strong and straight, so we're not letting the wrists go limp. Movement comes from the shoulder. If this is really too much on your neck, you can place your head down on the floor. But you'll get the most out of the movement with your head lifted. If you're feeling really strong, extend the legs out on the diagonal. If you want a little bit more. So you can choose the option that works for you for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Feet on the floor. Relax the head down. You might want to take your head from side to side. Just to give it a little bit of a rest. Good, we've got one more abdominal move to do. So I want you to take your right knee, draw it in towards your chest. Take hold of that knee with both hands. Left leg, bring it up into tabletop and then extend it out. Tuck your chin, lift your upper body. We're going to come into single leg stretch. So all we're going to do is swap the legs over. So we draw each knee in. Every time you swap sides, you're going to breathe out. Draw down through the belly. Bringing belly button towards the spine. Keep the chin tucked unless it's too much for your neck. You can place the head on the floor. Really draw that knee in to get a little stretch into the hip flexor. And if you want to increase the tensity, you increase the speed. As long as you can still keep the technique and your legs aren't going all over the place and you can still breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax down in the center. Move the head if you need to, from side to side. Good. Okay, come up and over, back into your 4-point kneeling. Another balance exercise for you and coordination. So double whammy here. This move is called bird dog. Now you might have done this before or seen it before, maybe called something slightly different. So in our 4-point kneeling, belly lifts, spine is long. We're going to go opposite arm and opposite leg. So I want you to take your right arm and your left leg. You're going to reach both of them out and bring them in. Reach and extend and reset. Now your core's going to have to work quite hard here to stop you from leaning over. Good. Might find that you're a little bit wobbly to start with. We're not going to do too many of these. We're building up the strength. You just got 4 more. Lifting the arm, lifting the leg, squeezing the glute. Last one. Straight onto the other side. Left arm, right leg. Reset, lift and reach. Now you might find one side to be easier than the other. You might have to work really hard on this move. The option is to tap back down onto the floor. But if you can, stay with the arm, leg and lift. Keep the breath. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, lift and reach. 4, 3, 2, losing my balance. Last one. Well done. Sit back onto the heels. Give your wrists a little bit of a wiggle. Good. Come and sink down into a child's pose. Reach those arms nice and long. Sink down. Relax here for a moment. Get your breath back. You might want to move your wrists around a little bit more if you felt that. Good, really reaching away through that upper body. Lovely. Come and walk the hands in. Come and face the front. Just want you to take one arm across the body so we can stretch through the shoulders. Shoulders have done quite a lot of supporting work in our 4-point kneeling. Let's change sides. Good. Relax the arms down, give the shoulders a bit of a shake. And that is the end of your menopause strength session. So I hope you enjoyed that. Don't worry if you found it a bit tough, especially if it's your first one. Keep it going, try and do it regularly, and you'll find that the strength will build up in your body and hopefully relieve some of those aches and pains as well that you might be getting in your joints or in your muscles. So I hope you enjoyed that. Feel free to drop me a message if you need anything, and look forward to seeing you soon.